Welcome back to Around the Block Volleyball. The MLV just had their first ever draft as the MLV, and it's time to break it down. We have a ton of great NCAA players headed to the MLV, and we need to talk about how we think they're going to impact the league, and grade how we think each draft pick was. So let's just start right off from the top of the draft. Very big first pick, very easy first pick, I guess. It was the Dallas Pulse who had first pick, and they picked Mimi Collier, Wisconsin's outside hitter.
Yeah, I think this is a great pick, especially as, a first-year team. I think this is a great pick to, set the stage for what you want your team to be. And, we'll talk about it, but I think she's definitely going to be playing a lot this season.
Yeah.
You don't draft her to not play her. Yeah. Even though she is fresh out of college, she's one of those players that's playing really well that I think she's going to adjust pretty fast.
Yeah, I think going straight into my grade for this draft pick, I want to just straight up give it an A right away.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think this is the type of player that could be like a more franchise star type of player. At the very least, she has a pretty good following. She was a breakout star at Oregon, and then now she's at Wisconsin. Already their star this year. She's on everyone's radar nationally. So I think she's a player that a lot of people could follow. And as a new franchise, you kind of want to get that star player because that's what's going to bring in fans.
Yeah, I think this definitely helps in that aspect for sure, to bring fans to, again, the new team in the MLV, in a new location. I think this is really good, like a really good way to start off.
Yeah.
Their entrance into the league, because it is a big name player.
Yeah.
And she's gonna do really well. She's one of the players that honestly I was a little surprised. I thought that she might have wanted to go to League One.
Yeah, I know she's a League One student athlete, so it is surprising, but I'm sure that this pick was only made if Dallas knew from her beforehand that she'd play MLB.
You're not gonna draft her if you think that she's not gonna play.
Yeah.
So I don't have any doubts about that, but
I was draft her this high.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, I was surprised honestly that she was playing MLV, but I think she's gonna do really well. I guess you could also see is she gonna ever go over to League One at some point? I don't know.
Or maybe even overseas.
Yeah. It's hard to say. I think it's really cool though that a lot of these NCAA players, they get a chance to play some pro, kind of feel it out if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I think she's definitely one of those players that can do that.
Yeah, I think maybe for her, to start off just with the other competition she has on the Dallas Pulse from their outside hitter core, they have Kaylee Cox, who will probably be starting for the team as one of the outsides.
Yeah.
She was the number 2 attacker on the Columbus Fury last year. But then they have a handful of other outside hitters who all have some amount of professional experience. They have Caroline Mouth, Isabel Martin, Elise James, Sofia Maldonado Diaz, and Jelly Sear. So a lot of good outsides on the roster, but I think it's one of those things where you're still going to want your young potential star player, to get those starting reps in.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an A+ grade here. Like a really good number 1 pick. You feel really good about this if you're Dallas.
Yep. Let's move on straight to our number 2 pick. This number 2 pick went to the Atlanta Vibe.
Which is really good because they were one of those pretty good teams last year. And, you're still able to thrive getting a high pick here. And this was in a trade, too.
Yeah.
But they got this pick from the Columbus Fury. You definitely feel really good about that. So Atlanta Vibe, for the number 2 overall pick here, they took Ava Martin from Creighton. Another really good outside that has performed really well. I think it was going to be interesting to see how she was going to perform given, the roster turnover and the coaching change. But she's still done really well this year. And I think she'll make a pretty solid jump into the pro scene, especially for MLV.
Yeah.
And I think it's very interesting with her outside situation, but I think she's definitely a player that you're going to play her a little bit, at least for sure.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a much tougher situation than Mimi Collier's. They still have Leah Edmond, who was one of the MVPs 2 years ago of the league, the entire league.
Yeah, she was the MVP 2 years ago.
She was the MVP 2 years ago. So that's already tough to have that spot to share with. And then also they still kept Pia Timmer on their roster. So that's another one where she was the other outside last year. It's tough to break through fully, at least to grab that starting spot when you have a strong team who has both of their outsides still there.
Yeah. I don't think she's starting, at least from the get-go.
Yeah.
But maybe she finds her way into the starting spot eventually, but I'm not too sure. I still think grade-wise, I think this is like a B. I think they had solid outsides, but you also probably want to pick a good player that, is available. And the number 2 pick, you definitely want to take a swing.
Yeah.
I think she's definitely a player that can work out for them, given some time, give her some experience.
Yeah, I'll also give her a B just as she won't play most likely, at least not in like a high quantity amount, but she could still see some play in some of the matches, maybe off the bench, and I think she can play like a quality role there. I think her skill set is kind of just a little bit of everything, so I don't think that she'll have any struggles adapting to the pros, at least to the MLV. So I think this is also a good B.
Yeah, I think maybe if there was a better fit for Atlanta here, maybe that's where you'd give them a better grade. But given it's Ava Martin, I don't hate that you take her because of the talent.
Yeah. Also a very popular player as well. So,
yeah.
I mean, part of building out these teams is having popular players on your rosters. I think it's a good pick. But now let's move on to pick number 3, which was the San Diego Mojo's pick. And they picked Hayden Kubik from Tennessee, an outside.
Yeah, and she's been looking really good lately. I mean, a breakout year for her at Tennessee. I think she's been amazing with her opportunity, and she's really taking advantage of that. And she's a really physical outside. I think this is really good for the Mojo as well. I think this is it's a really good pick. I think it lets them have another really physical outside that they can use. There is some competition there for her.
Yeah.
But if she gets some time, I think you give her some experience, I think she can come in, perform pretty well.
Yep. She's also a former Nebraska player, and then also the sister of Maddie Kubik, who was also a Nebraska player. So I think that just adds to the popularity factor of her as a player, which is pretty important, again, like I said, for this league.
Yeah.
And then I still am doubtful of her breaking into that starting lineup right away. They still have the outsides from last year. They have Kendra Dalk and Maya Tabrone. So it's going to be tough for her to play fully, but I think maybe having her come in as a strong swinging outside maybe from time to time would not be bad off the bench.
Yeah, I think this is like a B minus. I think, again, it really just boils down to the fit. Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking the talent of Hayden Kubik. She's really good. I think it's just difficult when you're picking that high and it's a player that isn't going to start for you.
Yeah.
But again, it's hard to gauge these types of drafts because it's players that are already playing pro and then you're bringing in from college. It's hard to see how that's going to translate. But I think like a B minus for me just because of the fit.
I'll give her the B plus because I could see maybe I think that SD Mojo already had some troubles, maybe a little bit of inconsistency on their outsides in the previous year, so maybe she can come in and for either one of the outsides if there's any struggles going on and then be her own player, come out into her own, maybe be that third outside that gets played pretty frequently. So I think it's good just because I think that their outsides maybe would need the support in terms of that core.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely has the potential to get some playing time here.
Yeah.
I think it's a less solid situation from Atlanta Vibe.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that definitely helps her out.
Being a top team versus not being a top team.
Yeah.
So.
I think we'll have to see how she finishes out her season.
Yeah.
I think that'll really determine how I really think about how she's going to perform in the pros.
Yeah, I think Tennessee will be making the tournament. So
for sure, yeah I definitely think so.
They'll be in the conversation. We have not seen the last of her yet.
Yeah, I just think that you see a little bit more of her, more extended period of time with her level of play because she's playing amazing right now. And then, then I can feel a little bit better about her going to the Mojo.
Yeah.
I think I was really just critical about the fit.
Yeah,
for them.
I mean, there's a lot of that, but we'll see that also again moving on into pick number 4, which was the Grand Rapids Rise, picking Alexis Shelton from Oklahoma. Another outside picked here. I guess a very popular position to take early, but I don't know. I think this is a tough one because they still have Carly Snyder and Paige Briggs returning, and they also have Allison Mayfield from the Thrill. So that's 3 outsides that were already playing in the league last year. I do think Alexis Shelton is probably super, super physical still, so she could still find her way in. Maybe if they need some front row kills, maybe even subbing in for the right side.
Yeah.
Because she just has that strong of an arm, that powerful of an arm. So
yeah.
I can see her getting some playing time, but again, it's a tough fit.
Yeah, I actually think that this is a good spot for her. I think what the Grand Rapids Rise kind of needed was a physical hitter like that, and Alexis Shelton is that and then some.
Yeah.
I think it really will just be how does her transition go from college to pro. But if she's able to do what she's doing right now at Oklahoma, you can feel pretty good that, okay, she'll still be physical in the pros with a really high contact point. She hits it really hard. I think, again, if she's playing outside, I think the problem is the passing. I think that's the only thing that the adjustment from college to pro is going to be difficult. But
I mean, even already in college, she isn't doing too well on the passing front, doing too much of it at all.
Yeah.
But it's a good physical pick, at least.
Yeah, I mean, she could be a player that they want to test her out on the right side and see how it goes. I wouldn't put it past them if they try that and see how it goes. So I think this is also, to me, like a B+. I think they could use some physical hitting.
Yeah, at least for me, I'm going to put this one all the way at a C. I think this is not because of anything against Alexis Shelton, but I think more on if you wanted the physical, powerful hitter. I don't know if it's good to grade it like this, but Flor Marie Heredia-Cologne was still on the table.
That's true.
So I would have liked to see that as a pick instead if you wanted it for those purposes. But we don't really know how Alexis Shelton will be utilized, so I'm not sure. So I'm just going to have to put it at a C just because I would have liked to see Flor Marie go early. But maybe I'm also biased.
I mean, I'll probably talk about that when we get to her.
Yeah.
I do think it was a little interesting that she went so late in the draft.
Yeah. But now let's move right on to pick number 5 from the Indy Ignite. We have Kara Cressy from Louisville getting picked up here.
I really like this. I think this is a team that can use some extra middle play because you do have some good outsides and you have a good right side in Azani Sealer. Shoring up that middle position, I think that can really help. And I mean, Kara Cressy is one of the best at playing both on the offensive and defensive side of the net. She's definitely one that I think she's going to have huge impact and pretty early on.
Yeah, I like her being brought in, especially on the blocking side of it, because Indy Ignite just has like a smaller pin.
The pins,
they're just a little bit smaller, so I like to see Kara Cressy be there for the block. I think she does a good job of closing the block a lot at Louisville already. Obviously, the pace is going to be faster in the pros, but I think she'll be able to adjust, no problem, and she'll be able to shore up that Indy Ignite blocking.
Yeah, I think what also is going to be really great for Indy as a team is you have some really, really big middles now, right? You have Kara Cressy now that you just drafted, but also Alexandra Bodizat. I don't know how do you pronounce that, but she came from Italy, right? She was playing A1. This is pretty ridiculous that she came over. I think it's gonna be really cool to see how she fares in the MLV.
Yeah, seeing how the level translates.
But I think this can also be a really great moment for Kara Cressy to learn from a middle that has played that high of a level. And I mean, you got 2 6'6" blockers pretty much in the middle. So you're always gonna have a really physical presence in the middle. I think that's really gonna be helpful. Where I think that's something that Indy Ignite could use and be even more competitive.
Yeah, I think their pins were already doing like a pretty solid job of blocking, especially for the heights that they're at. They all jump out of the gym, but just having the much bigger blockers who can maybe not have to full jump on every single block and close blocks really well, I think that's important for them.
Yeah, I think this will also help open up the offense a little bit more if you have some dominant middle play. I mean, you get a middle from Italy playing A1 and you get one of the really dominant middles. I think that really helps for the offense when you have smaller pin hitters, maybe getting them a solo block. You have Mia Tuniga coming in. I think the Indy Ignite are set up to do pretty well here.
Yeah, and this is another good popularity pick. I think Kara Cressy is probably one of the more popular players in this draft overall.
Yeah, and reunite her with some Louisville teammates. I think that's really fun. I'm giving this one an A. I think the fit is great, and it's a really good player for this type of system that they probably want to run.
Yeah, I'm giving this one an A as well. I think just having her added to this middle core is nice. And this is a player that we're definitely going to see play.
Oh, yeah. She's definitely playing.
Now let's move on to pick number 6, where we have the Orlando Valkyries, who picked up Bree Kelly from Pitt.
Yeah, this one was a little interesting to me. I do really like how Bree Kelly plays. Honestly, I think she's underutilized right now at Pitt. I think that's the passing and the system that they run. You have Olivia Babcock on that team, it makes sense. But you don't get to see as much of Bree Kelly as you did last year. But I think it's interesting for this team, for Orlando Valkyries, right? This is the reigning champions for the league. But you have Kaz Brown and Natalie Foster, who were great middles. They were super physical for you. Again, Bree Kelly can do that as well. But I'm not sure how much she's going to play, which is pretty tough when you take her with your first-round pick. But I'm not sure what they were looking for fit here anyways. So I don't mind it talent pick wise.
Yeah.
I might give it like a B-, C+, just because of the fit.
Now this one's a straight C for me. I don't think she's really going to be playing much. So I don't like the pick in terms of actually trying to use her for your roster, but I think it's a good piece, maybe thinking future-wise, where Brie Kelly gets to learn behind these two great middles, and then she'll come in maybe next year or later in the season even, and then she'll have some pretty good impact. But I think right now, I don't see Brie Kelly kind of finding a spot right away or making that big of an impact.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, I think this is one that you would think Flor-Marie Heredia-Cologne is still on the board here. To me, this is a team that you might want her to go to.
Yeah.
I know you want the passing to be good on this Orlando team because you have great hitters, but I mean, if you had a dominant left side like that, I think this could really round out this team to make it super dangerous. But I think this is still interesting pick. I'm not the biggest fan knowing that Heredia-Cologne is still out there.
Yeah. That's also, again, part of the problems that I have. But, I mean, Brie Kelly's also really good.
Yeah.
We just didn't get to see too much of it this NCAA year.
And you have two really good middles that are on this team already.
Yeah, so maybe we'll be surprised by Brie Kelly moving on to the MLV and she'll be able to break out right away. But right now, I don't like those odds.
It's tough. You're playing behind two middles that were the starting middles last year that won the championship.
Yeah.
And they're really good.
Yeah.
They just have more experience than you. So it's tough. It's a tough spot for her.
But now let's move on to pick number 7, which was the Atlanta Vibe again, where they picked up Avery Carlson from SMU/Texas/Baylor beforehand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a tough pick, I think. I think there's solid odds maybe that she could play. She hasn't played pro like that before, so I don't really know. But it's hard to say, but I could see it being a decent pickup. I mean, not the worst, but Avery Carlson's good, so I can see her maybe finding her way on.
Yeah, this is tough. I think this is another team that it's like a C because of the fit.
Yeah.
I think Avery Carlson is a very good setter. I really like what she's doing at SMU, but you got two other setters here that are already on the roster that have pro experience, and she doesn't. Some of them also were really great performers in college as well. So it's really difficult to see how much playing time she's going to get. I really don't know if I can give her higher than a C just because of the fit.
I'll bump her up to a B- just because I think she's a good popularity pick maybe. I think she's been doing a good job. She's done some stuff with Out of System. I mean, seems like she's building herself her own fan base, especially after her time at Texas where a little tough. But I think she has her own solid fan base out there. Maybe joining the Vibe could be good in terms of bringing a couple more fans in, even though they're already a pretty popular team.
Yeah, I don't know. I think just the fit is going to be tough for her. Yeah. But it would be interesting. I would love to see her really compete for that starting spot and see how much playing time she gets.
Yeah, I think she has some possibility. It's just, who knows? The setting is a hard transition.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
But she does have a little bit of USA experience. Maybe that'll help. Yeah. But we'll see.
She's also had to play with 3 different teams, 3 different systems, so she's also adjusted for that as well. So she's at least got some of that experience.
She might be like that. But now let's move on to pick number 8 by the Omaha Supernovas, and here they picked Kiara Reinhardt.
Yeah, this is to me a really rough pick.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's a decent pick just thinking about her being from Creighton, staying in Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I just think there's a lot of middles.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
That is the problem.
They have so many middles. I think they have 6 listed on the roster, and I think that just makes it really difficult to see how much she's going to play.
Yeah.
But she was really good at Creighton. I really do like what she's doing. She's really solid. It's kind of cool. She's like reuniting with Elise Goetzinger, who was her middle teammate last year and the year before, which I think is really funny.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool if she also ends up on that team.
Yeah.
But again, this is another team where I really think that you could have taken a swing somewhere else. Maybe this is a team. Maybe you go Flor-Marie. You could have done that. But, I mean, you have Morgan Hance on that team, I think.
Yeah.
You're a little less worried about the passing.
Yeah.
This could be a team that, if you have a really dominant outside like that, that's really physical, that could help.
Yeah.
And again, I think just the fit here is just really difficult to gauge how you want to go with this team.
Yeah. I'm going to give this one, in terms of grades, I'll give this one I just want a B plus because honestly, I have to explain this one because I also don't think she's really gonna play too much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
I'm
I'm
gonna give it a
B plus.
I'm gonna give it B plus because I think the Omaha team is already stacked. So in terms of this draft, what you're looking for, maybe some popularity picks, some like homegrown talent type picks. She's playing at Creighton. She's been playing at Creighton for 5 years, basically 6 years, maybe kind of, or I guess redshirt, that type of thing. But yeah, I think she's just a long time in Nebraska type player. I think that's a good thing to pull in, especially if you don't think most draft picks you take here. I think for the Supernovas specifically, they're not really going to play. So I think this is a fine pick for what you want to do with the picks that you have.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna give this another C. I think again, it's just the fit doc for me that's gonna do it. I kind of like it though, like you're saying. It is kind of cool that they are drafting the players that are in that ecosystem of volleyball already. I mean, they already have a couple of Creighton players. They have a Nebraska player. I think it's cool to kind of keep that going.
Yeah.
So you still are going to pull some fans from the college game into the pro scene. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And again, it reunites like three of them that were on that team last year, and they're all together again. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, a lot of Nebraska-esque players on that team, so I think this is good. But now let's move on to round 2, and we have pick number 9 here. The Dallas Pulse traded up for this pick, where they took Malaya Jones from SMU, who was a right side for this team. So I think this was another pretty good pick. I think Malaya Jones has one of the strongest arms in NCAA right now.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily if she's going to be able to play right away, but I think in terms of her building her own fan base with SMU this season, I think she's been able to do that. A lot of fans from SMU, that Dallas area already, I guess. So I think it's pretty solid pick. I don't really know if she's going to be able to take that starting spot, but I think maybe she'll see some play every now and then at bare minimum. So I like this pick a lot. This is round 2, so I'm gonna give it A-.
Yeah, I also really like this pick, and I'll just start with the volleyball part. I think the fit is a little difficult just because you have Kelsey Payne there, and I mean she's been playing pro. She's also very physical opposite, which is kind of like Malaya Jones's like trademark is how physical she is.
Yeah,
which I think she'll still be able to do. But, the direct comparison is a little bit tougher, trying to see the advantages that she might have over her competition. I'd love to see her play. She's probably going to play a little bit at least.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be good. And then not even just the volleyball part now. I think it's so awesome, the story that she's still able to stay in Dallas. I think that's really cool. The videos that they posted was really emotional. I really like that. That was super awesome that she's able to stay in Dallas, make it easy for her to make that transition to pro. But playing-wise, I think she'll do solid. I think this is like a B plus. B plus for me.
Yeah, pretty solid pick, second round still. But now we can move on to pick number 10 here, which I think is a big one that we're going to talk about. We have the Columbus Fury picking Flor Marie Heredia Colon finally.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah, from Miami. I mean, going straight away into grades, I'm just giving it an A.
Yeah, A plus, A plus, whatever it is. I think this is an outstanding pick for them. This is great to have a player that you really can be like, this is our player that we're going with for our franchise. We're rocking with her. She's going to do everything for us.
Yeah, this is a franchise player.
Yeah, this is the player that, they have to play her. It's going to work out well. I believe in it.
Yeah.
I think the only problem is the passing. I think that's the concern, how it's going to translate. But hey, even if you stick her on the right side, maybe, if you have to, that could work out still. I think that I'd be really impressed if that is how it works out. I really like this.
Yeah, I would say that she's probably going to be one of the worst passers, at least from the pins. She's going to be one of the worst passers on the team, but she will 100% be the hardest hitter on this team. And, every team needs a player like that. So I like the pick a lot.
Yeah, this is really good. I think it's really great, a pairing that you might have is a Megan Lush with her on the pin, right? To have a really experienced, smart player from Penn State. And then having the firepower and the physicality from Flor Marie, I think that could be really awesome. Yeah. I think that could work out. So definitely excited to see how she does.
Yeah, that's a good defense-offensive pairing. Really OH1, OH2.
Yeah, I really like what Columbus could be starting there.
Yeah, I think this is a good one. I think she's going to bring in a huge fan base for herself as well. Yeah. So, again, good for their views overall.
It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold going from Miami to Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah. Especially to start out the season, but
Yeah, it's gonna be winter.
yeah. But I think just generally talking about it, I'm surprised that she dropped this low. So
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely what I was gonna get to. I was really surprised, unless there were some questions on her commitment level.
Yeah,
If she
yeah.
was gonna play somewhere else.
yeah, I think that's got to be the reason
Yeah.
that she was picked this low. But I think honestly, for a lot of teams, taking the flyer on this wouldn't have been too bad, anyways.
Yeah, and I think certain teams it was worth a stab.
Yeah.
But I am actually really happy that Columbus was able to get her. I think it works out really well for them as an organization, and then I think it helps her out as well. I mean, she's gonna have the opportunities, and I think that's gonna be best for her as well.
Yeah, I think they got a good thing building there in Columbus. I appreciate that roster already. But now let's move on to pick number 11, which went to the Grand Rapids Rise, where they picked Candela Alonso Corceles from Indiana on the outside. Again, this is the team that Alexis Shelton was already drafted to.
Yeah.
They're playing the same position also, so this is going to be hard again. And I don't see as much of a good fit here.
Yeah.
Maybe this is, I mean, you always want players to fill out the roster, so I'm fine with it. I think she's still going to be on the roster. She's going to potentially get some playing time as well. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Taking two outsides back to back in the draft, your two draft picks so far, that's a interesting one. Grade wise, I'm gonna give this one like a, I don't know. I'd say like a C minus.
Yeah, I think again for fit, this is like a C.
Yeah.
I think right. You have Carly Snyder on this team. We already kind of mentioned that.
Yep.
You have Paige Briggs, Romine. Like there's a lot of stuff going on with this team that I'm a little concerned. I'm not too sure what's going on.
Yeah.
And this kind of adds to the confusion a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I kind of thought that at least with Alexis Shelton, it helped bring in like a really physical player.
Mm-hmm.
But then you took another outside in the second round. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, this is where I'm like, maybe we're taking too many outsides.
Yeah.
I don't really know. You still want them on the roster, but you're starting to build up a lot of outsides.
Yeah.
Here.
I mean, it's another good player though.
Yeah.
So I think this is still worth a C. Mm-hmm. So I'll agree with you there.
I mean, she's been a big part of why Indiana was really good this
Yeah.
season. I mean, they had almost like a breakout season where they are pretty competitive in the Big Ten right now.
Yeah, it was impressive what they've been able to do.
Now let's move straight on to pick number 12 here, which is from the San Diego Mojo, where they picked up Jillian Grimes from Penn State, a libero. I think it's a pretty hype pick. It's a good popularity pick as well.
Yeah.
But in the end, they still have Shara Venegas from the last year as their libero. So maybe Jillian Grimes could be that type of DS role, maybe, if necessary. But I don't think she's getting that libero spot.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough, right? You have Shara Venegas, and you have Kate Georgiadis.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, Jillian Grimes is very good, but again, libero, like the way that the pro game is, it's not like college. You don't sub in and out that much for DSs and stuff like that. So it's gonna be difficult to see how much playing time she's gonna get.
Yeah, I think this one's maybe like in times of need off the bench, you can come in, but you don't expect too much out of it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not sure what teams would really want the libero, and they're gonna play right away anyways.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say off of that. So I mean, I'll probably give this like B minus.
Yeah, I think it's like a B. It's like fine. Jillian Grimes also a popular player, so like it's fine.
Yeah, she's really good. It's just the transition for liberos is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I know there were some liberos last year that transitioned well, but I don't know if it's always that easy.
Yeah, it'll be iffy, but we'll find out as the season actually starts. But let's move straight on to pick number 13 by the Orlando Valkyries. Again, they took a middle. They picked Colby Neal from ASU.
Took another middle.
Yeah, so this is also right after the Brie Kelly pick, which means she's going to have all the same troubles where they already have a stacked middle core. And yeah, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that this does is it allows them to have 4 middles for the season. You at least now have your middle rotation. I think that's the good part.
Yeah, you want that for sure.
I think it's impressive too that your fourth middle is Colby Neal. I think you have really physical, like tall middles that are going to be really good on the blocking game. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a plus.
Yeah.
I think for her personal growth and her situation, this isn't good for her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is like a C minus for her. Honestly, You get picked second round, and you're still going to a team that you really don't know how much you're going to play.
Yeah.
Because you're on the reigning champs, but you got 2 starting middles that were already there, and you have one of the top middles in the nation. Now, she's also really good, right? She's also one of the top middles, but it's really tough. You're the kind of like the 4th middle there.
Yeah.
And then you're playing behind 2 that have been playing pro now.
Yeah, this one, I'm going to say, I'll also give it a C-. At least from the Orlando Valkyries' point of view, like, what are you doing picking this many middles? I don't know why they didn't want to pick up any more middles from, like, free agency.
Yeah,
But
I think this was a team that I was hoping that they would make a stab for an outside. I thought it could have been helpful just to try it, just see what happens.
Yeah.
Because you already have a lot of good players on your team.
Yeah.
Why not give it a try? You could hit it out of the park here and get a really stud outside. There were still some on the table, but it allows them to fill out their roster for middles.
Yeah.
I guess there's that.
Yeah. So that's not the worst, I guess. But let's move on to pick number 14. By the Indy Ignite, they took Emma Halter from Texas, a libero.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's depth for the defense part. But let's just say it. She's behind Elena Scott.
Yeah.
Now, this is probably the triggering part for the college fans out there. Everyone really likes Emma Halter. I really like Emma Halter. I'm really impressed with what she's been doing this year. But I will say, I am very biased towards Elena Scott. She was one of my favorite liberos to watch last year.
Yeah.
So I think this is really tough to see. It's going to be hard for her to see how much playing time she gets. Again, it's the situation where you don't get the subs that you do in college. So her playing time is going to be a lot lower. I mean, let's be honest. We saw what happened to Lexi Rodriguez last year in the League One.
Yeah.
You're behind Justine Wong-Orantes. Again, it's not similar situations, but in the way it kind of is, as in you're the backup libero, and it's hard to say how much playing time you get.
Yeah.
Because the good thing for Elena Scott here is she has the extra year of, okay, she kind of was like the best libero in the league, and she had that time. Like, it really helps.
Yeah. Whoa. We still got Morgan Hintz.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not the best libero.
Whoa.
But she's like number 2.
Yeah. She was a top libero in the league, and Emma Halter. I mean, this could be good for Emma Halter's growth, learning, maybe then eventually moving on to another team. But in terms of Indy Ignite taking this draft pick, I'm gonna put it at a C+. I mean, Emma Halter's also really popular again, so I'll give them the popularity benefit of the doubt, C+.
Yeah, I think this is like a C for me.
Let's move on to pick number 15 with the Omaha Supernovas, where they took Brooke Mosher from Pitt, the setter. I think this is like a pretty good pickup, honestly. I mean, you need a backup setter.
Yeah.
If anything happens to Sydney Hilly, I mean, knock on wood, but yeah, if anything happens to her, you still need another setter on the roster.
Yeah.
So it's good to have her there. They didn't have any other setters, so I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah, I think for the depth, this definitely helps. But the playing wise, I mean, she's not gonna play. Unless there's injuries.
Yeah. Unless something happens to Sydney Hilly, not gonna see too much of Brooke Mosher. She could be a serving sub. She has a really good serve.
Yeah, I think that's where she could get some playing time.
Yeah.
I'm also interested. Like, would they ever try her? I don't think pro scene would try her as an opposite at all or anything like that. I mean, you kind of know that she has the capability to do it, but I don't know if she will. Just because it is the pro scene now. The players are more physical and they're taller now.
And more specialized already in that sense.
Yeah. But again, she's going to be the backup setter. I think this, again, it helps for the team just to have the depth in case stuff does go wrong.
Yeah.
So, again, like B-.
Yeah, I'm giving this one a B. I think it's fine. Not too much to say here. Let's move straight on to pick number 16, the end of round 2, where we have the Atlanta Vibe picking up Shaylee Myers from Kansas State outside. One of the leaders in the Big 12 in terms of kills per set. So I think this is a solid pickup. But she is in the same situation as we mentioned earlier for Ava Martin, where they already have their 2 outsides from last year. So it'll be tough to get any playing time.
Yeah, and this is actually one of the teams that has a lot of outsides.
Yep.
So the depth chart is even more rough here. But I think it's still cool to see that she gets drafted out of Kansas State. But again, like you said, Ava Martin, same situation here. It's going to be tough to see how much playing time she gets personally. So this is probably like C+.
Yeah.
Just because of the depth.
Yep, I think it's fine, C+ here. I mean, we're getting to the end of round 2, so I think this is where you start kind of taking flyers on certain players that you just think are good. So I think you never know how some players will translate to the pros. They could end up turning it up and being really good. So I think this is pretty good pickup for what it is. But let's move straight on to round number 3, where we have pick number 17 to start off, where the San Diego Mojo took Allison Jacobs from Michigan. I like this one a lot. I think Allison Jacobs has been pretty good for Michigan this year.
Yeah.
Maybe Michigan didn't play as well as they thought they were going to. I thought they'd be up there with the Big Ten towards the top, as the Big Ten is looking a little bit weaker.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be up there a little bit higher, but I think she's been playing pretty well herself.
Yeah, I think this is tough, though, just because of the situation that she's going to again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that kind of is how it is now that we're in round 3 of the draft, that it's going to be like that. But you are behind Hayden Kubik, and I think if there was a player that they're going to give some of the playing time to, especially as a rookie, I think it's Hayden Kubik. I think it's really impressive what she's been able to do.
Yeah.
But Allison Jacobs, who knows? I think you're going to get her some playing time. You're going to see how she does. Maybe she adjusts well. But yeah, the depth makes it difficult. I think, again, this is like C+, kind of in that area.
Now that we're on round 3, honestly, I'm going to start being a lot more generous with the grades because you're just taking flyer picks here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give her a B, I think. I'm going to give the San Diego Mojo a B, taking Allison here. So not a bad pick at all for where we are. But let's move straight on to pick number 18, which went to the Grand Rapids Rise, and they took Jordan Wilson here from Arizona. So not too bad of a pick again, but I think the Rise roster is, again, really stacked up.
Yeah, this is also their 3rd outside in the draft.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know exactly what the draft strategy was in terms of taking all outsides, but
yeah, I'm not too sure.
You take what players you think are good at this point in the draft, but maybe you don't want to take a 3rd outside all in one draft. So I'll give this one a C, just because I want you to start picking some other positions.
Yeah, I think this is also questionable with the drafting, like the depth and that you have and the situation that you have on the roster. Mm-hmm. I think this is also a C. I don't know. It's hard to say because it's like I don't know how these players are going to adjust to the pro scene anyways.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to say, like, some of these players could be a diamond in the rough. I don't think we're really like that to predict that. So for now, I'm just going to give it a C as well. Let's
move on to pick number 19 here by the Dallas Pulse. And speaking of diamonds in the rough, they've picked up Carter Booth from Wisconsin. I think this is a really underrated pick.
I really like this one.
Yeah, this is really good. I'm going back. I'm starting to give this high grades again. I'm giving this one an A for the Dallas Pulse. I think also especially because she's from Wisconsin. She's just been playing with Mimi Collier. I think they have a good relationship together, so I like this pick already. I think that duo together is really fun.
Yeah, I really like this, and I give this an A also because of the time that you got her at. Right, this is round 3. This is, again, most of the players would be drafted by now. This is a good chunk. This is more than halfway through. And you get a player that, again, kind of helps you build an identity of being super tall and physical.
Yeah.
They already have tall middles, but I think that are physical. But now you bring in, like, the tall middle that is super physical in Carter Booth.
Yeah.
We have to see how she's going to adjust pro-wise.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be really interesting. I'm really curious on how she's going to adjust. But this really does help where she doesn't have to play a huge role, right? You do have Caitlin Horde, you do have some other middles that are ahead of her that can give her where there's not as much pressure to perform really well.
Yeah.
But it gives her a chance to be, hey, let's try it out. If she looks really good, then she looks really good. But if she needs a year, then that's fine.
Yeah.
And you could play her sparingly, and it could be okay.
Yeah.
I think this is an A+. This feels really good to me.
Yeah. And I'm loving the vibes, just keeping her with Mimi Collier. On Carter Booth's call that she had during the draft, they just had some like funny moments where she was having technical difficulties. I guess Mimi was kind of messing with her a little bit during that portion. And Carter Booth just had to be like, Mimi, I'm live on the call right now. Stop. I love that. They're going to be moving there together, so I think that's fun.
Yeah, I think that'll be good for them. Good vibes.
Yeah. But now we have pick number 20 here by the Columbus Fury, where they picked Maya Winterhoff from App State. So, again, another tough situation here. They have Abby Walker and Reagan Pittman-Nelson ahead of her, as well as Rachel Gomez joining the team.
Yeah.
So they already have a lot of middle blockers on this team. I think she still has a decent chance to fight for the spot as well. But, I mean, this is the 3rd round, so nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I don't mind the pick. I think, again, it helps you get that 4th middle. Yeah. And, again, I think they need to focus on building that identity. Now you had the draft where you get Fleur Marie.
Yeah.
You get another middle here. I think you feel pretty good after the draft that you are building something. I honestly like it. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I think this is like a B-.
Yeah, I'm taking B here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think just take what you want here in terms of filling out your roster.
Yeah.
But let's move on straight to pick number 21 by the Atlanta Vibe. We have Jackie Moore from Vanderbilt. She's a middle, and I think this is interesting pick again, decent pick. I don't know how she's going to get too much playing time. The roster already has Corey Lewis. They have Raven Colvin ahead of her. And then not to mention they have Taya Beller, who was already a backup on the Vibe last year. So a lot of good experienced middles on this roster already. I think Jackie Moore in her interview in that draft also mentioned that she wanted to go back to law school at some point. So maybe this isn't like too much in the cards for her anyways. Just she can play a year or two of pro volleyball.
That was a little funny that she said that.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
I was like, oh, right after you got drafted. That's pretty funny, but I mean, pro volleyball still isn't established like that. Doesn't pay like that yet.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's a cool opportunity for her.
Totally understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, being a lawyer, amazingly cool.
That'd be really cool. Yeah. I think this does help though. I think she does kind of fit the vibe of the smaller.
Yeah, the vibe.
Like, oh damn! I didn't even know I did that. But like of the slightly undersized middles that are super athletic, she very much fits that identity. Now, if that's the type of system that they want to go for, hey, I think it could work. Yeah. But she does fit right into that with other middles like Raven Colvin. That's like exactly what you would want to do. You'd have Corey Lewis. She's a little bit taller, a little bit bigger. That could definitely work out. I don't mind it to get another middle, fill out that depth in that part of the roster. So I think again this is like C+ only because of like the thing that she said where it's like, oh, I don't know how she's playing.
Yeah.
But like otherwise it's like a B. It's not bad. I like it. I like the fit.
I mean, honestly, I'll still give it like the C+ as well. I think even though she made that she said that about going to law school, I don't think it's a big deal anyways because roster turnover in the MLV has been pretty high. I don't even think the contracts are that long, so it's it's fine. But let's move straight on to pick number 22 here, where we have the Omaha Supernovas picking Claire Amaral from Iowa, a setter, again, who will be the other backup for Sydney Hilly on this roster.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is okay. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
You do need backup setters. I think that's important. And it's good, too. I think this is important for her that she, again, gets some time to adjust to try and play in the pros. And you get to learn from one of the best in the league, if not the best. So I think that's definitely helpful. So it's not a bad spot. She's not going to be playing that much. That's just how it is.
I mean, still
I think it's hard for a setter anyways.
Yeah. It's hard for a setter who's playing under Sydney Hilly.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good learning opportunity for her moving forward. So I don't mind it too much. I guess between the setters, maybe you don't know which one you like more right away. So I think this one's kind of fine. I'm going to give it a B+.
Yeah, I think it's like a B. You kind of take the flyer on this and just see how she adjusts to the pro scene and kind of go from there.
Yeah. But let's move straight on to pick number 23, where the Atlanta Vibe picked again. And they picked Eva Hudson here from Kentucky, the SEC Player of the Year. And everyone must be wondering, why was she picked so late? And that's because she is probably not playing a single minute of MLV ever.
Yeah, she's probably going to League One.
Yeah, League One or overseas.
Yeah, but she's been advertising all of the League One stuff. She's been in League One student athlete. I don't really know how this stuff works.
Yeah.
With like the drafting in MLV, even though you probably know that she's gonna go somewhere else anyways.
Yeah, I think for the MLV, the way it works is that when you're drafted, that means that the player can still, all of these players, I guess, that we
it's voluntary.
They can all not play for the MLV, but if they ever want to play in the MLV this year or next year, then the drafting team will have the rights to that player. So I think the Atlanta team is already pretty filled in terms of their roster. So I think having this flyer for Eva Hudson is not too bad.
Just in case.
They have a full roster. They don't really need to pick up any more players. So they just want to throw out like a gamble, I guess.
Yeah,
they're really rolling the dice on this one, seeing if they hit, like they're rolling a D100, seeing if they get that 1 out of 100.
Yeah.
So I give this one like a B.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I guess it's fine. Yeah, just
mean,
because of like
yeah.
the small probability that she does decide to play.
Yeah, if she does end up playing, it'd be huge.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the probability is very low.
Yeah, and I just don't think that they had too many other needs on their roster at this point, so I don't mind them taking this.
Yeah.
So now that we've gotten that weird mishap over with, which we'll see again, but
by them as well.
yeah. But that means we can move on to pick number 24 here, the final pick of round 3. We have the Orlando Valkyries picking Yane Henk from Florida State, another outside. I think there's a lot of outsides in front of her on this roster that are still experienced. They have Lindsay Vanderweed, Courtney Schwann, and the thrill duo of Hannah Maddox and Charity Looper both on this roster now. So it could be hard for her to get some time, especially because all 4 of these players are pretty well experienced.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, but this is also the end of round 3, so I don't mind this pick at all.
Yeah, I think this pick is fine. I did kind of mention it before if they wanted to take a stab at getting Fleur Marie earlier in the draft. But again, I think this is okay. Just get an extra outside pin hitter, see how they adjust to the league, and then it could work out. And
they're keeping her in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it helps that you get to keep her around in the same area. Again, that could help with bring some eyes to the game. I think that could be helpful as well.
Yeah. Also, honestly, I think Hannah Maddox and Charity Looper both last year, they had pretty inconsistent years.
Yeah.
So I don't mind them taking another outside hitter here in case they needed it. So I'm gonna give this one a B+.
I'll go B here. I'll keep it pretty neutral.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid pickup. But it's a team that already has a lot, and it's the 3rd round.
Yeah, but that means we can move on to round 4 now, where we have pick number 25 with the Grand Rapids Rides selecting Hattie Bray from Marquette, a middle blocker. And this one, pretty tough. There's a bunch of middles ahead of her, so it'll be tough for her to break in, get some good playing time. But she's also really good. We don't know how that transfers over to the MLV quite yet. So there's always the good odds that she could get some playing time, so I don't mind it. Playing off the bench also, volleyball seasons are long, they're very physical, so especially the middle blockers, you never know. Yeah,
I think it just helps add depth here.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to get much starting look, to be honest, because you do have middles that are experienced. I think it's just going to be difficult to really break into that if you're not one of the top middles. But she's been really good at Marquette, so it's still not bad to get her in the 4th round. I think that's still solid. And I think it's helpful that you have it for some extra depth for the longer season. I think it helps a little bit. So not bad. I think we still go like a B minus.
Yeah, I'm going B minus here. It's fine. But let's move straight on to pick number 26 here, where we have the San Diego Mojo picking Elia Rubin from Stanford. And this is another one of those picks where she's probably not going to play a minute of MLV in her life.
Damn.
Actually, I won't say in her life.
That's very
she won't be
definitive.
playing. She won't be playing MLV this year. Probably not next year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. San Diego Mojo, it's good to take this flyer on her. She'd be insanely good for this roster if they can take her, if they get her. So I don't mind it, and she fits kind of the mold of having a good defensive
outsides.
Having a good defensive outside for this team. So I don't mind it, especially if you're just gambling on the pick.
Yeah, I don't know. It's 4th round. A lot of the top players are already taken here. Yeah, you take her in case she does want to play MLB for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess it's fine. I don't really know. I think it's all right. I'm just going to go like a C here because she's not going to play very likely. So that's just how it is. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
I'll give it the C+ because, you always want to take that gamble. You never know.
I guess.
But let's move straight on to pick number 27 with the Columbus Fury picking Avery Tatum from Indiana, a right side. I think this is a decent pick, not too great. For the 4th round, it's actually pretty solid, where she's probably not going to be the starter right away. They have Taylor Fricano already.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's going to get that starting spot. But you never know if she needs to rest or anything or take some games off, Taylor Fricano. Then you could have Avery Tatum come right in, play that right side. I don't mind it too much. I think it's pretty good in terms of their needs. So I'll give this one a B+.
Yeah, I agree. I think you have Taylor Fricano in front of her anyways, so playing time. I'm not really sure it's going to be there, but that's okay.
Fourth round,
It's
you're not
round.
exactly drafting for that.
Yeah, it's the fourth round, so that's all right. I think she's been pretty solid for Indiana. I think she's a pretty big reason why Indiana has been really good.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good pick to get in the fourth round, honestly. So to me, this is like a B. I think this is really nice that you do get that backup opposite, and it's a player that, if things work out, she could be really good, but there's not as much pressure on her to really have to perform, which I think is a good situation for her as well.
No, but now we'll move straight on to pick number 28, the Indy Ignite selecting Taylor Landfair from Nebraska. This one is another one where it's a bit surprising. She is a pretty big name to be taken this late, except I think this is one where she probably is going to be playing in the MLV. Unlike a couple of the other big names that we've had that aren't going to be playing this late, at least, I think Taylor Landfair will be playing. I think she didn't get selected because over the past 2 seasons, she has not been playing 6 rotations.
Yeah.
And, I mean, she's had her own struggles in terms of being fully consistent with how hard she hits. But otherwise, I think she fits pretty well into this Indy Ignite roster because they needed a big outside. I mean, Taylor Landfair is like 6'5".
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this is pretty nice for them to have. I think if she does play, she'll get decent playing time, and she'll be swinging pretty hard and being that huge block presence for them.
Yeah.
So I do not mind this pick at all. All of their pins are pretty small.
Yeah.
So she could fit in any pin. So at least front row for sure. So I like this pickup a lot. This one I want to give her an A.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B plus here. I agree with all you're saying. I just am worried about if she does play. You're not sure how she's gonna play in the back row. Yeah. I think that's the problem. I mean, that's been the concern in her collegiate career as well. And it's not a huge knock on her. That's just how the system has developed around her, because she is very great in the front row.
Yeah,
I think this is a team that actually kind of is nice that she's able to play. We'll see how it goes. Again, college game is different than pros. The subs are just not as many as you would have. So I'm not sure how much she's going to play. Even if she's playing well, you do have to sub her in and out if you're not going to play her in the back row. So I think that's to the detriment of Indy. But for the situation, I think it helps having some really good defensive outsides.
Yeah, I think she fits needs for this team, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, I agree. So like B+, A-.
Yeah.
I think it definitely, the fit is there.
But we'll move straight on to pick number 29 here, where the Omaha Supernovas picked Ali Czech from Nebraska as well. We got 2 Nebraska picks right here. She's a right side. I think this is a great pick again for the Supernovas, where they're just keeping a bunch of Nebraska players.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. They got Merritt Beeson, now they got Ali Czech.
Yeah, they just want to hoard all the Nebraska players, although Ali Czech hasn't played too much this season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to happen when you have Virginia Adriano coming in.
Yeah.
But she's gotten some pretty good playing time. She's had her moments where she has shown out.
Yeah.
So I think this is like a solid pick. I mean, again, could be another good, like, for vibes pick.
Yeah, I'm curious on how this is going to look. I think Omaha Supernovas is a team that I'm really unsure what it's going to look like on the right side. I was under the assumption it's going to be Merritt Beeson. They also have Emily Londot.
Yeah.
But you also pick up Ali Czech here. I think it's going to be interesting how that competition goes between those 3. But we'll have to see because they're all relatively young anyways.
Yeah.
It's not like one has a lot more experience than the others.
Yeah, I think also, at least for Merritt Beeson, she was playing pretty inconsistent last year.
Yeah.
And I think the same could be said for Emily Londot.
Yeah.
You don't expect the complete full consistency from her. So maybe it could be one of those things where game to game you see who's having a good day. You could sub them in. They'll all have like their own solid impact. So
yeah.
I actually am pretty good on this pick.
Yeah, I like it. I think to me this is a B. This is a B+.
Yeah, I'm giving it a B+ here. Not a bad pick at all. But let's move on to pick number 30, where we have the Atlanta Vibe back at it again, taking a player who probably won't play in the MLV. We have Afena Kasakpala as their pick from Texas A&M, a middle blocker.
I mean, we're just going to call it how we see it. This just looks like Atlanta Vibe was like, we don't really need any more players.
Yeah.
We're good with our roster.
Yeah.
We're just going to pick these players in case they want to come back.
Yeah, take the gamble. It's honestly
if they want to play, then they can play.
Yeah.
So,
especially since the rights last an extra year, I think that's
pretty
good.
The helpful part. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the situation isn't right for them this year, then they can figure it out next year. If they decide to, they can. And I think Atlanta is one of those teams that I think it's okay. You kind of realize that they were okay with that when they picked that before for the Atlanta Vibe when they take Eva Hudson, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's fine, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do this like a basic C just because she's not playing. But
Yeah.
you know, small case that she does, cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great. But I don't think she will.
Yeah, I'm fine with the gambling. I'm gonna give it like B minus. Like I like gambling here. Take a flyer on it.
Don't get caught up now.
Hey, I'm not playing any games. None of the gambling can
No
affect
sports
me.
betting is gonna get you.
Yeah, nothing's gonna get me. I'm good.
Okay, that's
But-
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but we're almost at the end here. We have pick number 31 by the Orlando Valkyries picking up Sheridan Leverett from UCLA. One of their outsides, their star outside, honestly, for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So I think this is a pretty good pickup in terms of just getting a good name out there. But again, just like we said for Henke, I don't think there's going to be too much playing time on the outside for this
Yeah.
team.
I agree. I think this is a team that you're trying to just fill out the roster and get names.
Yeah.
I think she is a really good pick to pick this late though.
Yeah,
I actually really like this, so I'm gonna give this like a B plus. I like the spot that she was taken here, so it works out. But again, it's a team that, hey, you have a lot of really good players already anyways. Just take a shot at it, and then if they adjust well, maybe next year they can. If she's still on the team, it works out for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a B plus, just because I honestly think that Sheridan Leverett was a little bit underrated here. I think she's a really good outside when she's been playing for UCLA. Like even just watching this year, we were pretty invested in the UCLA team, and I think she's had some inconsistencies, but I think generally she's been playing super well. I don't know why no one wanted to take that risk on her throughout this entire draft, so I think this is a pretty good pickup late in the draft, even though they already have 5 other outsides.
Yeah, I really like it. Again, situation is not the best,
Yeah.
but I think it works out for her.
Yeah, I just think she just went super late, in my opinion. But now let's move on to the final pick of the draft. Pick number 32, the Indy Ignite picked up Amoni Bush from Oklahoma. Another outside pick here. I think a good player to pick here again. She's a tall player. I think that's what we've been saying about the Indy Ignite, where, on the pins, you want a little bit of height. So not a bad pick at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is their shotgun spray of picking up taller outsides that are physical and just see what happens.
Yeah.
Where if one of them works out, it's going to be great. But if not, then it's not that big of a deal. You still have some really good experienced outsides that you have that can do a lot of different things, so it's going to work out. But, if you hit the home run here, I think it's worth a shot. It is also the last pick in the draft, so I think it's okay to take that shot. So I'm not mad at it at all. I think to me, that's like a B minus because I think why not?
Yeah. But that'll bring us to the end of the draft. I think maybe just to review the draft overall, if we wanted to pick maybe a team that we think had the best draft, I would personally be going Dallas here.
I'm going Dallas.
Yeah, I like what they picked up, especially for a new organization in the league.
Yeah.
This is some pretty good pickups.
Yeah, I really think that getting Carter Booth really helped for me. I think, again, building up that type of identity, and then Mimi Collier fits that identity perfectly, right? To have super physical, you're really tall, and you're going to be really physical at the net.
Yeah.
You got really good players to kind of fit that identity. I feel really good about it. And they're also the new team. I think it works out.
Yeah. I think they had a good draft. Who else had a good draft? Indy, I'd say, also had a pretty good draft as well. And then maybe the Fury, I think, would be my top 3, maybe in about that order. I'd say if I was to rate the draft for all the teams, those would be my top 3 drafters of this league, of this draft. So, yeah. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, we want to hear any thoughts you guys have about the MLB
Homers.
MLV draft.
Who hit the homer? Who hit the homers on this draft? That's the question.
Exactly. Yep. So who do you think had those homers in the draft? And who are you guys excited to watch in the MLV as a whole? I mean, the season's coming up pretty fast. We're going to start up our own coverage of this league. So, yeah, just let us know in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. We'll see.
Yep.
Peace.